I'm going to say this for everyone in the studio, especially for myself and the camera crew and every other person here. We had a tremendously beautiful week, and this is because for the first time in a while, we saw a totally, absolutely enjoyable ATO Cup final, of course, which used to be the FA Cup, which was the National Cup at some point as well. It was absolutely beautiful to see Rangers coming back from the death to pick up a maximum victory and eventually picking up the cup against Kano Pillars. This is Hotsports, and what a way to welcome you to a show. We thank you very much for joining us, and the lads are in the studio with me. My name is Babajide Guerrero, and the smile on my face can only depict one thing, that I'm super glad and happy that you guys are there. You watching the show at the moment, you are there to savor what is going to be an interesting football potpourri, you want to say football and sports, varying kind of conversations at this time. The lads are in the studios, my guys. Waiting this up on a day. It's good to have Wilson back anyways, because Wilson was not available last week, but Wilson has been dining with the eye and the mighty right now. So we brought Wilson to the studios. What's going on, man?
I'm fine. It's been a great week. Champions League, FA Cup.
Yeah.
Now back to the EPL, and of course the El Clasico.
El Clasico now, which is upon us very shortly, and you know,
it was a good week. You know, it's good to be here back on the show. Good to meet up my wonderful viewers and our wonderful viewers too. Yeah. But the sad thing is that Messi got injured, so my week has really been.
You know one thing I keep saying about if I thought there's a football conversation and Messi is not in that mix, it's always a big problem. And it's quite difficult to put Messi on the sidelines because he's a very, very consistent player when it comes to his form and his class. But hey, you know for a fact that when it comes to giving you the very best of conversations, football, basketball, every form of sport, here is your dial, Hotspot, the longest running sports show on Nigerian television. And this particular show will get cracking right after this break. Go nowhere not, because we will be right back.
Bros, I find correct words.
Huh? See the shop for that side.
I be correct words.
Now the shop be done, now the next one.
Peter, see as people they pack, they go to the shop, go buy clothes. It don't reach like 5 days now. I just suspect this Tunde way this is where in Waka could carry Waka. See, I go blow whistle. I go blow whistle to go spoil.
Your whistle. Come on, go investigate the matter before you blow whistle. Whistle blow. Come on, come on.
Thank you for coming.
Show first.
Come. Not only you the circle for this market. Why be say only your shop everybody they come? I just want blow whistle. See, I go blow something.
This will not be whistle blowing matter. Now MTN goodie bag.
What it be MTN goodie bag?
With MTN goodie bag, if you carry your market enter another level, whether not for Facebook or for WhatsApp or for Twitter, for as low as 25 naira.
25 naira.
Yes, so dial *131*3# with just 25 naira daily or 50 naira weekly. You go get double data to browse Facebook, Instagram, chat, WhatsApp. Make yourself come to get double.
Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are the best players of this generation, and two of the best players playing in the most watched and enjoyed football match, El Clasico, made it even more exciting and competitive. Lionel Messi is the undisputed top scorer in this fixture with 26 goals, while the nearest rival to Messi still playing for Real Madrid or Barcelona is Karim Benzema with 8 goals. Cristiano Ronaldo and Alfredo Di Stefano scored 18 each for Real Madrid, with Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Real Madrid for Juventus this summer and Lionel Messi suffering a fractured arm during the match against Sevilla on 20th of October. El Clasico will miss two of the most sensational players of the modern era. Football fans can't imagine El Clasico without either Ronaldo or Messi, but this season's first clash between the two Spanish giants of La Liga will not feature the two legends of the game for the first time since the 23rd of December 2007. The teams back then were stacked with talents such as Ronaldinho, Deco, Raúl and Casillas, but only Ramos still remains from the historic clash. But on a lighter mood, who is really the greatest between the two legends? We confronted Super Eagles and Stoke City midfielder Ogene Caro Etebo, who played in the Spanish La Liga last season, with this hard nut to crack.
The both of them, they are really top players because, I must tell you the truth. You can imagine in 10 years, it has been both of them because they've been consistent. So I've never seen two players being merging each other like that. I don't think it has happened though. Maybe like the time of the Maradona, Pele, but these two rivals, they are they are something else. But I'm going to go for Messi.
You're welcome back to the show. This is Hotsports. We're about to get the show started. If you're just joining us, please do well to send your messages to our text message platform. We'll be getting to read some of them from our YouTube page, and of course other social media platform right there on your screen. And of course the number on your screen as well can be used to receive your text messages. We'll be looking forward to hearing your thoughts, and we'll be reading them to you as well. Well, the gentlemen are in the studios, my guys, and and Wilson, and today we'll be looking at something absolutely big this weekend. Tomorrow, Sunday, happening everywhere in the world, but happening at a particular location, Spain, the El Clasico. It is the biggest pot of football stew everywhere in the world. It's being watched by over 4 billion people around the world yearly, and this particular year will be without Cristiano Ronaldo. So what we're asking this morning, guys, is El Clasico, will it ever be the same without Cristiano Ronaldo? That's the question we're asking this morning, and we're looking forward to hearing your thoughts, and we'll be going straight up to thesis statement. I'll start straight with Igbinige.
Well, Ronaldo or no Ronaldo, the show must go on. So it's going to always be the same. Before Ronaldo, we saw Clasico matches. Like you said, everywhere is going to be stew. But without Ronaldo, the stew is going to still be sweet. So everywhere is stew. So I feel Ronaldo or no Ronaldo, the El Clasico is still going to be a classic match. Yeah.
All right, Wilson, you think Ronaldo has an imprint in this El Clasico, and you feel it's going to be a huge miss?
Yes, it will be a huge miss for Madrid. El Clasico basically is the best player in the world. And then, without the best player, Real Madrid and El Clasico have basically lost a player. So I think it won't be the same.
Oh, well, very true. We're looking forward to whether or not this particular stew will be very interesting or sweet or delicious. But regardless, you need to probably tell us what your thoughts are exactly about this particular topic we'll be dishing out this morning. El Clasico, will it ever remain the same without Cristiano Ronaldo? When we return from this break, we'll have the argument proper. You're welcome back to the show, and this year is Hotsports, and we're talking about the importance of Cristiano Ronaldo in the El Clasico. The El Clasico, will it ever remain the same without Cristiano Ronaldo? Remember, this particular segment is brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. And guys, let's get right into it. And I want to start with you.
So like I said, the El Clasico is more than two players. It's more than even Ronaldo. If I'm going to put Messi in this context right now, because El Clasico is about the game between Barca and Madrid. This is a match about two successful teams. So I feel Ronaldo doesn't necessarily have to have that impact. Wilson doesn't even sound convinced when he said without Ronaldo, El Clasico is gone. Your voice
The truth is that you have to understand that you can't play the El Clasico without the two big players in the world.
But then again, one of the most interesting El Clasico I've seen in a while. If you think about the past 10 El Clasicos we've watched, even with Ronaldo wasn't even the player making the impact. Because you remember the ones in Maria made and Puyol to sit down. They will even go back to the one that Cannavaro, Henry. In El Clasico, you talk about Zidane, the one that Figo left back and went to Madrid. That match was so brutal. Very brutal. El Clasico is more than any player.
When the Zidane were there, when the Puyol was there, when the Xavi was there, that was it. When they left, they had other players who could come up. Now there's no player in the Real Madrid, even in the old team.
Before them, Zidane, let's say in 95, Zidane wasn't there. Even in 99, 98, when Raul was there, Morientes was there, when you had Campo, Barcelona had Rivaldo, they had Romario, they had
Marco.
You understand?
They had all those players.
That's what I'm saying.
Right now, Real Madrid don't even have that player.
It's a phase that is, how are you going to tell me Real Madrid doesn't
Real
have
Madrid
that
don't have that player.
The problem is the fact that their coaches are having issues because the world best footballer is in Madrid right now. And you're forgetting that the official world best footballer plays in Real Madrid, Luka Modric. So we can't just look down on Madrid.
Be greater than Ronaldo in Madrid.
Classic. I can attest to that.
But Wilson, you feel this is going to be a huge blow for Real Madrid, especially for the El Clasico?
It's a huge blow for the whole of La Liga. Basically, let's not deceive ourselves. Even right now, marketing sense, you are like, how do you market the El Clasico without Messi and Ronaldo?
I don't think it's a big blow. Like you see the thing about derbies is not about players. You look at England, for example, Sunderland versus Newcastle, their derby. You see how big it is. You see the way they market it. That game doesn't have a superstar, but it's one of the biggest derbies in the world. You look at Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid. That's a derby because Atletico Madrid, even back then when they never had that star man, even there was Aguero then, but that was a big derby in the world. Now, let me tell you why it's not going to suffer between Madrid and Barca. These are the biggest teams in the world. Because somebody was telling me, oh, you're saying this might affect, but look at Inter AC Milan. I tell you, the reason why the San Siro derby is so poor is because both teams are doing so badly in their league.
Let's forget that. The truth is, without Ronaldo, the El Clasico
No,
is finished.
that doesn't see the best.
There's no player. Mention one player
let's
to even make it work.
Let's get this straight. Okay, the best El Clasico matches were not even under Messi Ronaldo era. That's what I need us to get out there. Because if you even think about when Mourinho was there, for the best El Clasico matches were not under their era. For me, my best El Clasico match was the one Henry. That was 2007. Okay, Messi was there, but Messi wasn't with the showman in that game. But Messi was impressive though. When Henry was about to destroy Cannavaro, it was Henry that destroyed Cannavaro's career. That was one of the best. Yeah, that was Pep's first season. That was one of the best.
You see, that's the difference between then and now. Yeah. Now, at that time, there was Henry, there was Eto'o, there was Messi. There were players that could come up. But there's no such player right now in Madrid.
One of the challenges
now in Madrid.
Yeah, but I got to swing a little bit to Wilson's angle. I mean, in this asking about this particular question, because most of the time when you see the El Clasico, what you think of is poster boys. The poster boy for Barcelona happened to be Messi.
Oh, it's a phase. This was okay. But then, there was a time for the Manchester derby. For the Manchester derby, there was a time it was Beckham. There was a time it got to Ronaldo. There was a time nobody. Right now in Manchester derby, nobody. But the show still goes on. The Manchester, in fact, I keep saying, the Manchester United is playing one of the worst football, not just in Europe, but I'm sure in the world that we can see. But the Manchester derby, you saw how it was. In fact, I was explaining some 2 years ago. The Manchester derby was so hyped, like a blockbuster movie. The game ended 0-0. Was one of the worst derby matches. I said, what you saw?
Because you know why? Because it's not even Mourinho. Because the players to step the game up.
But look at the people that still watched it. They still had more people watch that derby.
That is based on marketing.
The modern day marketing now. Let me tell you, if Manchester City and Man U is playing, even if it's Jesse Lingard, Rashford, and let's say Man U side Ahmed Musa, people will still watch it. It's not about now your poster boy
because the EPL has sold itself. They know they sold themselves very well.
That is the same way El Clasico has sold itself. Barcelona, Real Madrid, they sold their self.
So you feel sold their Clasico.
No, how can you say that? You can't say that. This is Stefano. Do you want the Stefano to come up and give us a slap in his face?
The Stefano said will agree.
It's one of the. No, we can't say this. Let's not really say we started talking.
Look at it. There's no attention right now.
People who watched the 80s, the 70s, we know when the great era for Barca came actually. We know like from the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. But I would like to know it was Madrid. It was Madrid, yes. Madrid was superior in Europe. You could see everything Madrid had. But now it got to the 90s. Yeah, Barca started picking up. I think they picked up their third Champions League in like 2009 or 2011. I think one of those years. Yeah, that's where they got their third Champions League. You can't compare that to Madrid that had like 9 as at 2002.
So in a nutshell, in all of this, what you're saying, probably, you know what, let me not even say anything anymore. Let me ask you guys for your final thoughts. Wilson, I'll start with you for the next 30 seconds.
The truth is the absence of Ronaldo is a big dent on El Clasico. Seriously, in both ways, marketing, on the pitch, everywhere, generally. And to make matters worse, Messi is not available. So you're like, why should I even watch the El Clasico?
But people will have to watch it because there are not even much interesting games to watch in the world anymore. So this we are even complaining that Ronaldo is not available. But now let's look at it. Let's talk about the 10 games you want to watch this season. Do you want to go and watch Man U and Arsenal? Where Man U, Mourinho will pack the box. You want to watch Man U versus Chelsea? Mourinho will pack the box. Just so what are we saying? I was happy I was going to watch Man City, Liverpool, but that game ended in a draw. So you're saying regardless, even Chelsea, Liverpool, regardless, yes. And this is still going to be the best match you will see.
This has been Hotsports so far, and we talked about the El Clasico, whether or not it has lost a bit of its theme and its beauty as a result of Cristiano Ronaldo leaving for Juventus and Lionel Messi not particularly playing in this particular El Clasico that will be upon us tomorrow, live from Spain. That one will be happening. Okay, so we go for a quick break, and when we return, we go straight up into other form of conversations. What's happening in the FIFA rankings, as well as what happened at the ATO Cup final. We cannot but talk about that particular magnificent football showpiece we saw. But all this and more right after this break.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Adam, go and bring us your husband. Okay, hello baby.
We're in this together, okay? Can you hear me? Keep coming forward.
Wait, stop.
You okay, lean to your right. Keep walking down, keep walking to the left, yes.
You're almost here.
Keep going.
You are here. Wow, you did it.
I'm just so glad I didn't have to use my cane to do this.
And I am so glad no other man got you before me. Let me be your eyes.
We will never stop working to give you a network you can rely on so you can enjoy life's special moments. MTN, everywhere you go.
All right, guys, you're welcome back to the show. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, the AFCON qualifiers has been quite a very, very interesting one for Super Eagles of Nigeria, picking up points here and there. And in a way, we've seen it has reflected on the FIFA ranking. And now Nigeria are, 44th in the world and 3rd in Africa. First time in a while.
Well, it's not.
Do you really a lot of meaning to the FIFA ranking, though? You don't look like that person.
Basically not.
Yeah.
I don't think we're 3rd in Africa. I think we're way down. 44th probably in the world, but I really don't look at the FIFA ranking because it really doesn't matter.
I support Wilson on this. You know, I really don't. There are so many things I don't actually take serious. The FIFA ranking, when you bring the top 50 players in the world, you bring the top 11. I feel it's not a clear reflection.
Imagine Switzerland better than Germany.
Yeah, that is it.
Denmark better than Germany.
It's a funny thing.
Well, a lot of times, guys, I think it's about, I mentioned certain thing, how this thing is done. It's often based on a lot of points coefficients. Yeah. They add and they subtract, they multiply, they do a lot of stuff before they can get to that point. And then a lot of form. The bottom line is just keep winning consistently for a period of time. Oh well, probably on one of the episodes on the show, we'll probably look for a way we can dissect this particular FIFA ranking. It's been a good one for Super Eagles of Nigeria as regards the AFCON qualifiers, and they've been picking up wins, and we can only hope it continues when they play South Africa and of course Seychelles. But speaking about playing, he's playing with his job as according to his form recently. Julian Lopetegui, you must say, was saying the way he's gone about his job, maybe the players, maybe Ronaldo factor, maybe the backroom factor. The bottom line is he needs this El Clasico. He needs to win this, Wilson.
I actually don't think, I think he has been sacked personally.
Okay.
I just think they just want to do it after the El Clasico. For the El Clasico news conference, one of the journalists said he had lost his job.
Yeah,
basically, he just said it.
Because it's sad because
I think that's the feeling around.
I actually like him a lot. I like him a lot.
The interesting thing about the position of a Real Madrid coach is like it's difficult for you to say no whenever a team like Real Madrid comes calling. The likes of Luxembourg couldn't say no. Carlos Queiroz. A lot of coaches have come and gone, but that's Real Madrid for you. A lot of them actually. Yeah. But the form has actually been very, very poor, to say the least. Sevilla defeated Real Madrid. That's where the problem started. And then they drew at home at the Madrid derby. They lost away at CSKA Moscow, and then Deportivo Alaves defeating Real Madrid as well. Real Madrid lost at home to Levante in a game they could have possibly won. And recently they defeated Victoria Plzen at the Champions League 2-1. So this particular one, Barcelona against Real Madrid, the El Clasico, is absolutely important. But we also must say congratulations to the way of Rangers FC of Enugu, Rangers International. It's quite amazing, really, to see showpieces like this happen. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, they won, but it's in the fashion, How would you sum that particular game up?
It was really a miracle of Asaba. That I like that phrase because it was done and dusted, and we were like, oh, okay, Kano Pillars, they've won the game. So to see that comeback was so wonderful. I saw somebody wrote a tweet and said this is like one of the greatest comeback in the world, and other people were taunting him and they were like, why? And I was like, is your Nigerian league. Like, did you even watch this game? People didn't watch it. They were just like, but it was very, very nice. It was a very, very, very good game.
It was
very great.
I actually tweeted, I say scratch Liverpool at Istanbul, slotting Rangers in Asaba, because that's the kind of importance. We are quickly to say anything we say, Liverpool, Gerrard, but it's good to see something we as Nigerians can relate to.
When it was 3-0, I was like, it was over. And then I just saw 3-3 and I was like, ow. I had to actually check again. I was like, it is the same match, because I actually support, the only team I support in Nigeria is Rangers, so it's a good one for them after winning the league 2 years ago. So
Rangers, interestingly, have won this cup 5 times in the past when it was known as the Challenge Cup, actually. They won in 1974, 75, 76, 81, and 83. And now they won it again in 2018. And the last time, that was their 6th win, of course. The last time we saw them lift the trophy was... I'm talking about Kano Pillars now, was in 1953, and ever since, they've never made it to the grand finale up until 2018. So, and as well, congratulations to Rivers Angel. They retained their own female title, defeating Ibom Angels by lone goal. So yes, way to go, Rangers. It's life lesson. Well done, congratulations. We are really, really, really proud of that achievement. Well, the Women's Basketball League would commence tomorrow, October 28th. And we're looking forward to the interesting, beautiful game of basketball that will be taken all around Nigeria. The sponsorship deal is very much on the cards, and this year is to the tune of over 20 million naira. Sometimes I think I'm in the wrong profession, really. That's a lot we can take, but before we go to the final whistle, we can also mention to you that in the Formula One, the celebration of Lewis Hamilton as the winner of this year's tournament was really cut short as he didn't win the American Grand Prix. That means he couldn't get to be in the same mood with Ayrton Senna, his own mentor and role model. This particular celebration was cut short as Kimi Räikkönen won that particular one, and in second place was Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton coming in third. He would have to wait till the Mexico Grand Prix to win eventually at that particular tournament, and maybe it would be spoken of as one of the greatest Formula One races of all time. I will go for a quick break, the final one on the show actually. When we return, it's time for Final Whistle. Earlier in the show, we asked whether or not the move of Cristiano Ronaldo to Juventus would reduce in any way the importance, the essence, the beauty of El Clasico. And Wilson has stated their point very, very much so. We also can confirm to you that you as well can get your word into the studio by sending to us text message on the number on your screen, and of course, leaving your text message as well on the YouTube channel of the show. Now, my final whistle. No doubt both analysts have done a tremendous job telling us what their thoughts is. But the truth is, it's glaring. The El Clasico has a rich history, a rich culture of over 115 years. We've seen the greatest of the greats play in this tournament. This tournament has given birth to some of the finest memories, some of the greatest dribbles, some of the greatest, most talked about moments in the history of our beautiful game football. As well as Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, by no doubt are the greatest players of this generation and could be the greatest players of any generation. Will they be missed? Yes. Will Ronaldo be missed? Yes. But like Eyino said, the show must go on. But hey, what do I know? The show definitely must go on. The fans will cheer, and a lot of people would come to social media, and we'll also come here next week Saturday to give you how that particular show went. So yes, please tell us what your thoughts exactly are about the Clasico and the outcome. You could actually get to predict as well, and let's see what comes out of that. Last week we talked about Mikel Obi's essence in the Nigerian Super Eagles team, and Isaac Shushku is saying to us, he said, of course, Mikel is very, in fact, 4 varies. Very, very, very important to this squad. Is it because we won 3 straight games? Ronaldo is 34 and he's not in the current Portuguese squad for the UEFA qualifiers, but he's still part of the team. Interesting. This one is coming from Vese Boniface. He said Mikel is important because if you look at the way Mikel plays, he plays like the stabilizer. If you can flash back on the games he had played for us so far, Nigeria takes the lead and sometimes they are stranded because there is no stability in the team. For now, Mikel, if Mikel is on the bench or on this team, his team has more confidence around him, better than not having him in there at all. And Adaj says is important for the squad depth and because of his leadership. And I hope I'll be getting to read one of your own thoughts. Of course, you can only get that done if you comment on our social media platform, especially on our YouTube page. And that's a lot we can take on today's edition of Hotsports. We hope that you thoroughly enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, especially with the quality of stories and the analysis as well from my guys in the studios. As we call it a wrap on the show, any party today?
No, the party is tomorrow, El Clasico.
Oh, okay. The
With
party
or
is El
without
Clasico.
anybody, the party will go on.
Okay, with or without anyone, the party must go
The
on.
party is always going to be sweet. Everywhere is stew.
We seen with everywhere stew. We seen doesn't look like a party, but it looks like a very, very easy going.
Go to Italy, go with Juventus Napoli.
I think that would be better than El Clasico, though.
You really think
I think it
You
would be
really
better
think
than
that
El
would be better
Clasico.
than El Clasico?
Yes, I do.
With Bonucci that runs like, let me not just
Still
say
better than all the Madrid defenders.
Bonucci is better than Ramos. A discussion for another day.
Yeah, very possible we could have a player comparison on the show. You just never know. Guys, we want to thank you very much. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable show for me, Babajide Guerrero, and I like to keep it the same way I've kept it as well. Take care of yourself and each other. And yes, before we go out of the show, big shout out to Babo Sheon. Belated birthday wishes to you for being a huge, significant piece of this production every Saturday. God bless you, Babo, and God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.
Oh, lovely ball.